Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Hybrid Blackwing. I played it on Tuesday, and besides obviously that you see I went undefeated, let's get into the list. Alright, so with this being Hybrid Blackwing, we got the 3 Sirokkos. We don't have to explain a whole lot in this deck because you just run a lot of 3-ofs. The 3 Shuras, the 3 Boras, 3 Kalutes, sadly only the 1 Gale, 3 Blizzard, and 3 Vayu. Most hybrid lists only run 2. I find that 3 is the best number just because it gives you the most access to them. It lets you summon it off a Shura the most often. Yeah, you draw it sometimes, but you know that's what Icarus Attack is for. You got the 3 Dark Grepher, the 1 Dark Armed, and a 1 of Gores. I feel like most people don't play around Gores when they're playing around Blackwings. And so I think this is a good card to run, not to mention the fact that your opponent's probably going to out-whirlwind as soon as they can anyway, so I don't think you have to worry too much about continuous cards being on your field too often. Moving into the spell cards, speaking of Whirlwind, we have the 2 Whirlwind. We're running Grepher, so we might as well run Rhoda to search it. 2 Book of Moon to let Shura get over things. We got Brain Control, Mind Control. Mind Control is kind of seeing a lot more play now all of a sudden in Blackwings. It makes your Blizzards more alive. If you summon a Blizzard and they, book the non-tuner, bottomless the non-tuner, sometimes you can just have a Blizzard with no target, so it allows you to actually do something. Heavy MST, and then of course the Allure of Darkness. Sometimes you end up using it on the Gores if it ends up being dead, but there's that. We got Mirror Force Torrential. Those are pretty standard. Bottomless Trap Hole standard. 3 Icarus. I think in this list, 3 Icarus is important because you have Vayus and so many dead draws. But I have seen some regular Blackwing lists cut Icarus and go down to 2 Icarus. I think that might be good for regular Blackwings. Going on to the extra deck, we have Armory Arm, Catastor, Android. So those are 4 and 5s. For 6s, we have Armed Wing, Bryonic, Goyo Guardian. Then for our 7s, we have Black Rose, the 2 Armed Wing. You kind of have to run it when you're running so many Vayu. Stardust Dragon, Dark End Dragon, Thought Ruler Archfiend, Colossal Fighter, and Silverwind for our 8s. And then our side deck, which might need some explanation, we Chimera Tech. Our extra deck is super full, so we just don't have room for everything that we can make. I mean, technically, I guess we could cut the Armory Arm, but it can come up with like Kalute and a negated Vayu or whatever. So we side the Cyber Dragons as well for basically any matchup. Dyna seeing so much play all of a sudden. Used to be an anti-meta card, and now it's seeing play consistently in decks. We got the double DD Crow. They are Allure targets, Icarus targets, just great in general. Raikou and Hamster, especially Hamster sucks, so Nobleman of Crossout's pretty good. It's also good against the Recruiter decks. We're playing Grepher, we're playing Vayu, we gotta run Deck Dev. I mean, it's a Blackwing staple, but anything that runs, you can get out Armed Wing like Vayu Turbo can. Pretty standard. We got the Light Mirrors, and then lastly, I saw this tech online, Dark Illusion. It seems super cool. In the mirror match, it can stop Sirokkos trying to pump over your stuff because Sirocco targets. It also stops like D-Prisons. It also stops Regeki Breaks. It stops Caiuses. It stops Dark Arms. It stops so many things, it kind of does more than just pulling the rug, and pulling the rug most of the time you're using, you can pulling the rug a Stratos, but a lot of the times you're using it on a Monarch to stop their turn, and this kind of does the same thing. All right, and lastly, I just want to talk about my record. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I went undefeated. Deck is really good. I think it's probably better, as you'll see on my tier list, than regular Blackwings, just because it has those explosive plays that Vayu Turbo is known for. So this was my opening hand in one of my games against Lightsworn. I opened this, which, always having Gores against Lightsworn is always really good. So one of the highlight plays that I was able to do with this deck that was pretty crazy, summon Dark Grepher, go ahead and pitch the Vayu to send a Sirocco to graveyard, right? Pass. He doesn't really have anything on his turn. He has to pass. He recharges and draws like Wolf and mills some spells and traps, stuff like that. Next turn, Grepher, pitch Vayu, send Sirocco, banish for Armed Wing number 1, banish for Armed Wing number 2. You're starting to maybe see where this is going if you've played the deck at all. Special summon Bora, special summon Gale, Synchro for Armor Master. I think he had left like an Arcus or something on the board, something that couldn't quite get over my Dark Grepher, but I was a little worried about Honest. And yeah, so this is a lot of damage in one turn against Lightsworn, as well as, obviously overextending this hard is a little dangerous, but having Gores in hand, I felt kind of safe doing it. And so having, this much damage in one turn, and also not worried about Honest because I have the Armor Master off of the Synchro was pretty crazy. So yeah, that's my Blackwing hybrid list. Comment down below what you think or any suggestions you think. I'm sure a lot of you will probably say Oppression needs to be in there somewhere. But just as aggressive as I play the deck, a lot of times it ends up slowing me down with the few amount of traps that I have. So that was the first episode of Metacycles, Blackwing Hybrid down the tube. And we'll go ahead and start on another deck next week and come back with a list and let you know how it goes. Thanks, guys.